Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs Podcast. This is season 7, episode number 27. Tonight's our sports edition, Andy. It's May 11th, 2026. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Well, the winter season's still crunching along. We're on round 2 of the NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs, so we'll get to more on that later. But let's start off with a trivia question. On this day, 1980, Pete Rose did something huge. Not the all-time hit record. Cross that off your list. That was not it. But Pete Rose had a huge game on this day in 1980. We'll get to the answer at the end of the episode.
Okay. All right, here we go. It'll kind of be all over the board here tonight, but hey, that's what we do. The Frost are supposed to be playing tonight, but Monday's series finale between the Minnesota Frost and the Montreal Victory has been postponed due to, quote, player safety concerns related to illness, the PWHL has announced. Dun, dun, dun. Game 5 of the semifinal round was set to take place Monday night in Montreal. No makeup date was immediately announced. The league said more information will be available within the next day. Quote, the decision was made following the consultation with medical personnel in accordance to the league's comment to the health and well-being of the players, fans, staff, and those involved in the competition. But they did clarify that the illness is not consistent with the new virus of the month they got going there. So is this the beginning of the end like it was with COVID or not? Who knows? Unfortunately, you heard it here first. On this day, back in 96, Al Leiter threw a no-hitter, first one in Marlins history. It was also the first no-hitter to include a 3-pitch inning.
Wow.
So that's pretty unheard of, a 3-pitch inning, especially in a no-hitter, but first time ever a no-hitter. So, all right, we bag on her, but Angel Reese, first player in WNBA history with a 50-50, 50-50 career doubles. Now, one thing they don't talk about her, if you look at her stats, 50-50, oh, she had 10 points and 15 rebounds. Oh, my God, she's great. She had 2 assists, 4 personal fouls, and 6 turnovers also. So, read the entire stat line for her. Don't just read the points and rebounds. Read the rest of it. Kind of takes away from that, It's like a pitcher's stat. Again, I'll bang on him. Nolan Ryan, all-time career leader in strikeouts. Also the all-time career leader in walks. So, take that.
Yeah, it's like the old Bert Blyleven, going to the Hall of Fame. Great pitcher. No one has given up more home runs, I think, than Bert Blyleven.
That hanging curveball of his, either you fanned it or you hit it 420 feet,
So there are good stats and bad stats.
Yeah. Read the entire stat line. Don't just read the first.
Remember to read the whole stat line. Yep.
Just the one game I'm going to mention from the WNBA over the weekend. Dallas and Indiana. Dallas wins by 3, 107-104. First ever WNBA game where both teams were over 100. And also in that game, 53 total fouls were called during the Wings Fever game. So either it was a really tight game like that, or the refs were trying to make an example. I don't know. But good ball game right there. Excited for the WNBA to be started. I like their competition. We should see how it goes. Bobby Cox passed away there today. He's the one who took Atlanta from worst to first to the World Series and against the Twins there in '87. One thing I'll say about Bobby Cox is he was a great manager. He had great pitching coaches with him, great hitting coaches. He surrounded himself with a great staff. But, they talk about all the unbreakable stats. Nolan Ryan strikeouts, Ricky Henderson stolen bases, stuff like that. Bobby Cox has a stat that will never be broken with the rule changes now. In his career, he was thrown out a total of 162 times. It's a season's worth of games he was thrown out of. But with you can't argue balls and strikes anymore with the challenges and this and that. You're not going to see arguing anymore. You can challenge plays. You're not going to see arguing anymore. So there's another stat that will never be broken is thrown out of 162 career games as a manager.
Yeah, that is true. They're going to have the automated ball strike, and there's going to be less arguments because the hitters and the catchers or the pitchers are arguing them, and they're being nullified 30 seconds later. So
and
you
if
get the answer.
Close play at the base, you can challenge that too. So that takes out the argument,
So I think you do get the arguments, and that takes a lot of time back and forth, whatever goes on, the chirping. So it could be speeding up the game as well, but you're not going to see the ejections. You'll still see ejections. You'll still see fights, but not as common.
Night.
You're right. You're right.
And, managers coming out and arguing, not doing that anymore. That's been speeding the game up a lot too. But all right, it's come up. That's fans. Lindor, keep him or trade him. You got all that money going to Juan Soto. You got all the money going to Bichette. Francisco's getting, he's up there. Talks of him going back to Cleveland. Do you trade him and get some pitching because you have none? It's kind of early in the season, but are the Mets sellers right now and sellers early? Yeah, you could hold on to him, maybe get something better for him, but do you get when the getting's hot before a team because teams are going to say, oh, you want to get Lindor, get rid of him so bad, they might undersell you. But you hold out, see who needs him real bad, and will overpay for him. So they're on the clock, if you will, on that one.
It's worth a discussion, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure they're probably getting phone calls already, emails, texts. I don't know, whatever else you communicate with nowadays, but I'm sure they're feeling them out and seeing what's coming in. I don't know right now if I'd be surprised if he was traded or not. Either way, I don't know how to feel on that yet. I like Lindor. He's a good player. Personally, I don't know if he's a clubhouse cancer or not. I've been hearing different things. Him and Soto not getting along. Well, I've heard bad things about Soto too. So obviously 2 wrongs don't make a right. I think there's just a lot of upset clubhouse people with the Mets right now because you got rid of Nemo and Jeff McNeil and Alonso. You got rid of 3 really good clubhouse guys. And, that could make it all tough right there too. So we will see. They're trying to fill big shoes with little shoes, and it's not working. One guy made his early preseason college football projections. Look at number 12 down there on the screen in your lower left corner as you look at it.
Bison.
The Bison.
Nice.
The Bison making it. Going against Oregon. Just saying.
Has Bison Bits seen this yet, our buddy?
Well, I'm sure he's watching the show and he's going to see it. I shared I shared it on the social media.
Yeah.
So,
it's interesting. It's not uncalled for either. It's fair enough.
Right, because there was a thing where they couldn't make any of the bowl games. So does this count? If they win the Mountain West, are they eligible for this? Or is it just bowl games they can't make? Yes, some of these are bowl games, but this is the college football playoffs.
Wow.
I hear they've petitioned the league and the conferences for it to be allowed to play, so we'll see. Kind of very excited to see the Bison up there. It just says they're going to win the Mountain West is what they're saying. I think what you got to really do here with college football, you're going to have 12 teams in it. I don't know how many conferences are on football. I'm not that's versed in it, but you got to pretty much go, okay, these few conference winners get automatic bids. I don't know if they have that or not. They should. Because you look at last year's Big Ten championship game. Both those teams knew they were in. They both knew they were top four. So they didn't care. They just tried to stay healthy. So, do you make the conference championship games the first round of the playoffs? You got 12 teams here already. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 extra weeks here. Do you just add a couple more and let it go? Who knows? They show Notre Dame at 3. They're not in a conference; they're an independent. So that's got to change too. If you're going to make it where, conference champs are in, stuff like that. But I see on there, just off the top of my head, 1, 2, 3, 4 Big Ten teams. So that's not too bad. I'll take that. All right. Breaking news. Wobbly there, the big kid for San Antonio. Last night hit, what's his name, in the throat for the Timberwolves. I can't remember his name. No, I can't remember his name. And I was like, he should be suspended. He needs to be kicked out. Oh, blah, blah, blah. The league said no. He got tossed for that one game. And, if you look at the play, what he did, Naz Reid, I think is the guy he hit with the elbow. That was Detroit Pistons bad boy basketball 101 is all he did. You look at the Knicks, the Pistons, the Pacers, the Bulls. That's what they did back then. That's how you played. He just did some old school basketball, baby. Sorry. Man up. I think I called you as a fluke last year, but here's the stats right now. Another stat I saw going into tonight, he's 0 for the last 32. Cal Raleigh, 7 homers, batting 169. Yeah, he was on the World Baseball Classic team, Team USA. Yeah, 60 home runs last year. Great job. Happy for you. I thought it'd be lightning in a bottle, and so far I look like a genius. Well, not really. I think most of the free world thought it was lightning in a bottle, so. Great guy, great defensive catcher, don't get me wrong. Just his offensive stats were just something special last year. All right. I took the screenshot. Call was over to it. Call strike. Francisco Alvarez of the Mets challenged it. Put the hat on the tap the hat. And it was overturned as a ball. Now, that's as close as you're going to get for being overturned. Okay? Stuff like this is where stats, again, are getting blown out. This umpire had a call overturned. Really? You're going to dog down for having that overturned? Or when it's the other way around. Say it was a strike and they call the ball, whatever. When they're that close and, I don't fault anybody. And the way Alvarez went for the quick challenge on it. I know. He knew it wasn't that close. I think he thought, oh, man, that's close. I'm going to have that check that. He wasn't sitting there going, I knew it was 0.1 inch off. No. He probably thought it was more off than that, but he felt confident in having it challenged. But I want to see the stats when they say, this umpire lost so many challenges. Okay, how many of them were by less than 0.5 inches? Because cut the guy some slack.
Yeah, now they almost have to go onto the curve or something to rate the umps, because now you're trying to beat the awful calls.
Right.
And
there's been some where it's been like right down the heart. And it's like,
close ones. You're trying to fix the close ones and get rid of the awful ones. But now you're rating this guy now got a call overturned. It's going to go as a bad mark on his grade, and it's
right.
It's that close. So maybe you almost have to throw out some of the close ones because it's meaningless. It's no one's fault to get this right or wrong.
And this one, just like when you watch an NFL one, where the guy's toe is barely inbounds, is barely out of bounds, and the guy at the couch potato home going, yeah, I knew he was out. Bullshit. You were just hoping. you know.
So now we're getting so much into the minutia that it's
Yep.
now this small piece of a hair that we're off.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
can't,
it's
I hate to say grade on a curve like I'm in school, but you got to cut some of these umps slack on stuff like this. When it's that close, he shouldn't get a bad ding for a blown call on that one. I mean, yes, call overturned. He had a call overturned, yes. But man, when they're that close, you got to cut up some slack. And that's my 2 cents worth on the stuff. Like I said, I didn't have any WNBA this weekend. The league started. Wolves lost a close game here at home to Atlanta. That was a game where Angel Reese had double for points and rebounds, but again had like 4 personal fouls, 4 turnovers, 2 assists only. You know, so read the whole stat line for any player. I'm just using her as an example. You'll see a lot of other star players. 32 points. Okay, they also had 10 turnovers and no assists. You know, so read the entire stat line. The Wild, I saw the one game Saturday night. Playing Colorado in the second round NHL playoffs, best time of year ever. Is it tough hockey? Yes. Is it dirty? No. Because the refs are swallowing the whistle for everybody. And I think the NBA needs to do that too. Let the boys play. I like hockey this time of year, but you gotta remember hockey and basketball now, you're playing a 7-game series or best of 7 series. You don't get to do that in the regular year, where you can get a feel for a guy after a couple games down a series. Your guard guy, okay, you got a feel for him. Yeah, you got tape throughout the year. You know he can't go to his left or something like that. But now you've been working on him for a couple games. That's different. Now, should the NHL or the NBA have it's always a 2-game series when they come to town? I don't know. Why not? What the hell? You know, play 2 games in a row here, then travel somewhere else. Why not? I'd be okay with that. Something different. But with that said, and also now with the PWHL postponing today's game because of illness. It's in Canada, so I'm not blaming the Canadians. Love you, Canada. But is it overcautious? Is it, I hope we don't go down that road again. I think this might be a flag to a lot of teams. I think a lot of these leagues are going to kind of getting their stuff together going, okay, let's say this happens again. What do we do? Where's that folder from a few years ago? How do we do this again?
Yeah.
Do we? I don't know. Again, I hope not. I hope it's just a cautionary thing. I'd hate to see it because wouldn't the Minnesota fans' minds explode if both hockey and basketball playoffs were canceled right now because of this? But, oh my word. The guys at K-Fan would be on suicide watch.
Now, when's the last time the Wolves and Wild were in the postseason this far down the pipeline together? I don't know the answer, but
first time ever they've both been in the second round at the same time. Yeah,
oh, it
first
is?
time ever they both made the second round at the same time.
Yeah, this is rare. This is rare, and you're getting these teams playing. One in St. Paul, one in Minneapolis. They're traveling. They're coming back home. The Twins are in the midst of playing. The WNBA. The Saints are in town.
The Frost are playing right now if they keep winning.
Frost. There's a lot going on, but boy, the playoff atmosphere. The fans are digging it. The fans like this. Now, Andy, the Friday night Wolves game 6, hasn't been issued a time yet.
Right.
But
the see who else is also playing too. So
the Minnesota Twins have already announced they're moving their game up to 6:10 this Friday night. Okay. So it was a 7:40 start time, I think, or 7:30, 7:40 for the Twins. They're going to move it up to 6:10, I believe. Yeah, 6:10 on Friday night. The emails just went out today. So the Twins are doing their part, I think, to get ahead of it, to say, look, we'll move our game up so you can go 7:30, 8:30, whatever time you need. And then work with the NBA to find the slot that you need. But how about we get our game done first? And so I'm guessing that's what that move was today.
And that's what's you got now. As much as y'all complain, y'all listen to me, like I'm from Texas. As much as everybody complains about the Timberwolves and the Wild playing a West Coast schedule, West Coast times, even when they're here at home for the playoffs, it's got to be an 8:30, 9 o'clock start because they're in that West Coast bubble. It's got its advantages this time of year when the Twins are in town too.
Yeah.
Yes, the Twins moved up to 6, but if it's a 6:10 and 7 o'clock game, it's still going to be nuts downtown. If it's a 6:10 and an 8:30 game,
Yeah.
you're going different directions leaving the parking, so it's not going to be so bad. Just saying.
It'll make for
think of it as a
interesting,
small
but they have
blessing.
to address it.
Yep.
Yeah. And so they moved up already. The Wolves have not announced their time yet. The Twins have moved theirs up. They've sent out their emails and announcements and tweets to get that stuff squared away. So that'll be interesting. That's going to be a game 6 matchup. So it's not, if necessary, that we'll be playing the game 6.
Yep.
But tomorrow night, Tuesday, they'll be in San Antonio, the Wolves, for tomorrow night for game 5. And then game 6 will be back here. And then game 7, a truly, if necessary, would be on Sunday. Now, the Wild are playing right now. And so the Wild and the Wolves, NBA, NHL, both are in round 2. One of those series is completed already for both sports. There's one team that's gone on to the next round already, to the conference finals. The UFL completed week 7 this week. They're 7 weeks done. So there's 8, 9, and 10, 3 weeks left, and those teams will be jockeying now for position for the playoffs. Only 4 teams make it out of the 8. No NASCAR this week.
Well, there was NASCAR. We just have no reports on it.
No reports.
Racing Watkins Glen, SVH1. Watkins Glen's the road course. I'm not a big fan of that. I told you guys all to watch it if you want to see. You did.
Yeah, you said that that's if you're trying to get into the sport, it's probably not a good one to watch. But feel free to watch it. But there's enough going on in a regular.
It felt good for me because I had a lot on my.
Yeah, we also went to
a lot on my plate this weekend, so I was okay missing this.
Town ball, Crow River Valley has started. You took in a Watertown game yesterday. They won by 10. I took in a Waconia game. They won by 3 over New Germany in a full 9-inning affair. New Germany was on a couple innings, were on par to tie or win the game potentially, and couldn't pull through. A lot of subs being used here and whatnot this early in the season, but still fun to watch. Great. It's chilly, but now this next coming weekend should be some nice weather.
It's supposed to rain a little bit this weekend, but we'll see. I know for Watertown, sorry, North Star League, plug in the Crow River a little bit here. Home game here in Watertown, come early. First 150 fans, get a box of Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, that's not bad. What flavor? Do you know, or do you think
you get what you get, you know?
I like it.
Look at me. Am I going to turn down free cookies? Really? First
100 in attendance.
150.
150 gets 1 box of Girl Scout cookies. I like it. I like it. It's a fun little promotion there to do that.
Yes.
And we're going to be getting set with baseball and softball high school sectionals and playoffs here starting. College is the brackets are underway and whatnot. So, lots going on. Okay,
softball
let's get to the trivia answer, Andy. The trivia question. Trivia question. 1980 on this day. I think I might know this. Pete Rose did something spectacular. Let us know. What do you think?
He played all 4 infield positions in the same game. First, second, third, short.
Good answer. Good answer. But no, this was
because he did play all the positions.
This was more meaningful than that.
Oh.
That's important. And in fact, that's impressive.
He placed a bet and covered the over?
We don't know about that. That
That
could have also happened. We can't verify that, though. So here's what he did. Pete Rose stole second, stole third, and stole home in one single inning.
Nice.
Second, third, and home. Now, that's impressive, but back then, at least it was doable back then. Now, in 1980, how old was he?
He was in his 40s, wasn't he?
He was 39 years old.
Damn.
39, and he did that. I mean, that is something that blows my mind as far as, a young guy doing that. Sure.
Right.
Fernando Tatis Jr., Francisco Lindor.
Bobby Witt Jr. could do that. Sure, go right ahead.
Bobby Witt Jr., huge, but Pete Rose as a 39-year-old white guy.
Well, he was built like a little tank, too. It's like he was in great shape. He was just a little ball of fire going down there.
But he was 3 bases in 1 inning. Yeah, that's nuts. That's crazy. That's 1980. And he went on, to be also a player manager player / thing. But of all the things he did, that is some wild stuff right there. So please leave your comments below if you have any questions or comments below. But Pete Rose, the late Pete Rose, stole 3 bases 6 consecutively in 1 inning. And 1 trip around the bases. That's something. That's something else. That's
taking an RBI away from a guy. See, he was covering a bet.
That's wild stuff. All right, we'll see you next week, everybody.
See ya.